Financial Assistant. Joy Desard, HR Administrator.
Jana Pierce, Principal.
Brad Wilson, School Board.
Andy Gardner, Superintendent.
Susie Orsborn, HR.
Jane Dunn, business.
PCA, CTP.
Melissa Longton, Food Service.
Angelica Martinez, Head Custodian at West Army Michael.
Joanne Felice, custodian at Oak Grove Elementary.
Angela Sally, Behavior Resource at Liberty Elementary.
Yeah, I'm Peter Brogan, OEA staff, just pinching for Amber Cooper, my colleague. Happy to be here with you guys today.
Penny Burns, Transportation.
Human Delight and Technology.
And we have Wendy here somewhere that is SCA at Takina. All right.
So, Madam Chair, we had talked about an agenda that would include ground rules again.
Yes.
And then we had brought 3 articles.
Yes.
We have a total of 9
Okay.
articles, I believe. Is that correct?
Mhm.
That we will end up sharing.
Maybe 10.
By the
9
date,
for sure.
whenever we agree on the date.
Okay.
And then you had 1.
I think we're probably going to hold off tonight on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So given that Amber's not here,
Mhm.
given that Brian isn't here, if we reach a point where, like no more counter deliberation, I would ask that we have a discussion about, do we spend more time here to not move things forward, or
Sounds
we
good.
just move to the next one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Liberty's having music tonight.
They are.
Oh.
They are.
Are you in that too?
You know,
I do know.
Okay.
I told Andy both Chris and I have kindergartners.
Yes, that's right. All right.
Okay, so we sent you guys a proposal for ground rules. It's called ground rules number 2.
Yes,
And did you guys print that off or do?
we did.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so,
It's in their court. But we gave it to them this week so that they could look it over.
and if Angela, I would, however we want to, if you guys want to talk about it, or if you guys want to, like counter propose or discuss any of the items.
Yes, we do have a counter proposal
Okay.
for the ground rules. Basically, the highlight is still trying to get the dates onto the calendar, whether we have that in the rules or not.
Okay.
I think probably the one item that we had kind of left undecided was to that of the streaming or the recording. We made our concerns about the live streaming known at our last meeting, and we do still feel very strongly about those reasons, and we are willing to have a video recording so we can still solve that issue of transparency, and happy to submit to that with the video recording that can be released at 24 hours later or so that our employees that are working at that time can also have the same access to that.
But not live streaming, but videotaping, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And that there would be some sort of a time lapse.
Whatever that takes for that to be put together and then disseminated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
You do realize
We
that
do.
if you live stream, it's recorded and people can watch it anytime.
Mhm.
Oh, I just want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have copies. Does that go around?
Yeah.
Is it making its way? Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With your
So-
own little special staples there, like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So probably, I think maybe so we can take a moment to look over that if we want now, or we can do that during, if you want to present your articles first,
Okay.
then we can maybe
Okay.
save time and do that all at one time.
Yeah, I think that'd be good for efficiency.
Okay.
But we will agree that we won't just go and caucus the rest of the night. We'll come back and have further discussion.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you want to
Mhm.
tell us anything about the grant rules and why you did what you did? So that we can understand before we look at them?
But I think that what I spoke to was really the issue where we differed
Okay.
from
Everything else is substantially, we're in agreement.
And did you realize we tried anything to take your language? Did you notice that?
And we did the same.
Oh.
So, yeah.
And that was the only difference, so that we,
Sorry, he's gone, but I just remember starting.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we will
And
go in and just kind of look this
look
over and
through and
see
see
the
if there's anything that
similarities.
comes up, but I
Yeah.
believe that was the,
Okay.
really the only,
Okay.
part where place where we hadn't really agreed. A
Okay.
lot of them were very similar from the beginning. So
they absolutely were.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Do you want to do that and then come back and present all three articles? Let me do that.
Yeah, I think it would be,
Because we
we would
need-
love to just get these underway,
That would be nice.
right?
Uh-huh.
So, why don't we take a few
Okay.
and then we'll come back.
Just so you know, we didn't do the ground rules on here because we hadn't agreed to them with the bolding and the strike through and the underline.
We asked that clarifying question. Yeah, we got that.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay,
We're
give us a
on
few.
parade.
not one or the other.
Right.
So thank you guys for giving us a little bit of time here to look at this. I appreciate both teams. It was clear from what you guys did that there was an intent to like work and take language. So we appreciate that. There's a couple of things that, and Susie will kind of go through the whole thing.
Okay.
There's a couple of sticking points still, and we'll talk our way through that. But Susie will just kind of go through this. We have our language, and we have put changes to ours after reading yours in
Okay.
bold.
Okay.
Right. And so we'll,
And underline.
yeah, bold and underline. So go ahead, Susie.
So, on the first page, and the first thing is that we said each bargaining session will either be 4 to 8 or 3 to 7 by mutual agreement. Because we had talked about 3 to 7, you guys wanted 4 to 8. We said if we live streamed, it'd be 4 to 8. So we put them both on there and that we would agree before each meeting. The other thing, just real quick, you have the 3 dates, 4/30, 5/14, and 5/28, and on yours. And we don't have Brian here, so we couldn't. We've agreed to the other 5 dates.
To which date?
We've agreed, both of us, to 1/22, 2/5, 3/5, and 4/2, and 4/16.
Okay.
But we can't answer on 4/30, 5/14, or 5/28 yet. But we'd be happy to go back and look at those dates.
Okay.
Okay? And then on the second page, we took and we said that we just changed it a little bit, and we took the district will make a video recording at each bargaining session and provide public access via a link. And so then you can have a link and anyone could watch it. And then we crossed out, because we thought it was redundant, audio and video, and it was ours. So we crossed it out, audio and video files will be saved. Because if they're posted and there's a link, they're saved. And then neither party can use recordings. We really like that from yours. Neither party can use recordings or excerpts for promotional or other PR purposes. We thought that was great. And we also agreed that parties will ensure no recordings will take place during caucus. And then
And just to add, we, like in the district office, or even here, moving the hardware out and in, it's difficult, but we also know that there's expertise on your side that can mutually verify.
Right.
Right. So
Damon, not to name any names. And
your name
then,
came up. It came up.
Yeah.
and we struck, because you struck it, teams should avoid calling for a caucus within the first hour of the meeting. And so we struck it too. We just did it tonight.
Right.
So we figured that's kind of a.
Yeah.
And then the next page, number 7, it was really hard to do the certified back and forth. And so we just, upon ratification, both parties will complete a signature page and will attempt for a final print copy of the complete agreement within 60 days. Instead of 30, we said 60 because it was rough. Dana and Nancy worked really hard. And then the very last page, we accidentally left. Susie, please ask Brian about this. And that was embarrassing, but that's okay. And so we struck it off. And I think I have gone through everything that we accepted or what we struck out of ours. And then added everything that we accepted from yours.
I think the one thing that is not new language is the district retained its language on the 3rd page, 2nd paragraph, that the proposed rules must be exchanged by the first meeting in April.
Mhm.
The presentation of the original, so you guys aren't going to present it tonight. And I
Mhm.
think you guys had said you wanted 27 articles or something to that effect, roughly, right?
Most, all of them, yeah.
So, but the challenge will be, so we are now in the second
Mhm.
meeting, and it looks like with pacing, you guys had presented the first article to get the
Mhm.
clock going, but now we're going to be at the third before we begin. And so, I think you guys have done a survey, right? And
Right.
so if, like, we would still want that so we can begin to knock things off, right? So you guys know, right? Everybody is going to be cutting this spring and we're no exception, right? And so we would not, like, we will already be in budget by then, right? And we will be in personnel processes. And so we would love to have at least known what is on the table. And typically you will see a presentation of offers at some point
Right.
simultaneously, meaning the same night, right? So for us to present ours on April 2nd, then you guys take another month, we would like to see those come in at the same date, so that it just becomes very clear after that, both sides know the total work that both sides have.
So,
Is that timeline difficult?
just for, just because, as I think we've all agreed to before, there's a lot of language that needs to be fixed
Mhm.
in our country, a lot of very old and outdated language.
Yeah.
So that's why it's, we're going to be submitting a lot of different proposals. What we want to make sure is that we know that you need those, especially the heavy economic proposals, that you'll need those as soon as possible, so we can kind of map out where we're going to go with all of those. Our intention with the balance at the end of April would be the housekeeping things, so that we're not forcing through, the language part, and making sure that we can just do it with fidelity to have the time to go through those. That was our thinking in that. I guess what I would ask is if we endeavor to meet that goal, and anything that's left, if we had a list of articles that we intend to propose by the end of April, is that something that makes sense?
So the only thing I would say is there are three types of articles,
Mhm.
right? Which is like the ones that I'm sure came up as the most important on your survey,
Sure.
economics,
Mhm.
right? The second group, where we're just reorganizing but not changing meaning, because you have said a couple times that, reorganizing
Yes.
and making the contract more accessible and readable.
Mhm.
We are with you on that.
Yeah.
There's the middle group,
Right.
right? Which is things that are language but have costs.
Right.
Right. And so that would be what we would need to clearly say, we can go beyond this
Mhm.
for reorganization, those kind of things,
Mhm.
because I think it would be great. I
Yeah.
appreciate that you want to do that. I worry about the middle,
Mhm.
right? Because I think we'll have a much clearer picture about the work we're going to have to do
Exactly.
budget wise. So,
Mhm.
but that could be something that we would do.
Mhm.
And that if we can construe that somewhat accurately, that we have anything with a cost in it by April 2nd. And that we share them on the same night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I did see on the first page that it still at the very bottom, it says all bargaining sessions will be live streamed by the district.
Yes. And that was, you'll recall, we talked about the 4 to 8, but we also said, okay, but live streaming.
Right.
Right. And so live streaming, as Susan said, does create a copy, right, which either party can refer back to. And interestingly, I think I sent you that. All of the bigger districts do it at your insistence.
Right.
Right. But
And our makeup, is we're concerned with our members in our district. So that
Yeah, I get
you know,
that.
the.
And Andy, just to say,
Yeah.
like, I'm at the table in Portland helping them right now, and that's,
You
that's
do the
something
live
we're not
streaming.
doing. We're not live streaming this, and
But you are
agreed to
recording?
that.
You are reporting
No,
at all
no recording, no live streaming.
Okay.
But it is open
to the
all
public.
members and
Yeah.
public, except for the press.
We think it's really important though that the public can see it,
Mhm.
right? So we have committees going to the community. And when I talk with people, they're like, hey, how do is that going to be something that we could access? Because it will have repercussions to long range committee, those kind of things. So,
Yeah, and as, I think as we've seen before, we had a couple of big concerns with that,
Yeah.
and those haven't changed.
sure.
And actually, we've done a lot of work, this week, really speaking with our membership, speaking with people,
Mhm.
and that position hasn't changed.
So can you speak then to what we have proposed
So I know in our very initial proposal, when we talked about, well, first laid out, we talked about alternating between 4 and 8 and 3 and 7.
there? Mhm.
That was in the very first. It says each one will be by mutual agreement. So are we,
So we see, so Brian's not available, right? So we have to like work on that.
Mhm.
And like, I would hope that we spend the next few days working to move a couple more out,
okay,
right? But scheduling is like the general times for availability or members, we kind of get that. But at the same time, we want to be able to schedule all parties.
Right.
So,
right. Schedule all parties and including, we know one of the significant challenges that we all face is lack of substitutes,
Yeah.
for our positions. So
Yeah.
also with the later time prevents us from having to, sub most of our positions.
I hear that.
Mhm. Um, Is there anyone that had any comments or questions?
So I have a question. We said the district will make a video recording of each bargaining session and provide public access via link. That's fine with you, but a live stream is not. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes.
I just want to clarify.
Mhm.
Okay.
For the public,
So if we took that out, that's what you're saying.
Well, if they took it out.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
that way we kind of
Can we
feel like the
ask-
public, if they want to see the meeting, they can see it all. It's not. Why do you have to have it on the site?
I just
Yeah,
wanted to
we get that.
clarify, make sure that I
Mhm.
understood that that was fine, but the other was not.
So what we would probably do is follow the meeting, right? Then we would put it we have a bargaining page and we would put that there
Mhm.
and send a link.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do we give our articles?
Yeah, do you guys want to hear the articles? We've talked through those and then you have them
Sure.
and then we can eat your dinner.
If you want to do the articles and
I think is dinner still ready or?
It's,
Almost.
yeah.
would you rather do that?
Did we go have dinner? Is that what you're saying?
So I think maybe if we could do a quick caucus, on this
Uh-huh.
and then,
And then come
then we
back.
can present and then hopefully at
Okay.
that time dinner will be ready.
Very good.
of philosophy because I know initially
Okay.
it says in 3-7 with the 4 to 8.
Okay.
And we said we just
Okay. So, are we?
he's printing. He's getting it printed up.
Good.
Yeah.
And then, so you guys can propose, and then we'd like to just propose three, right? So we begin to push
Mhm.
them.
Yep. Sounds great.
And the students got that, so what was the industry saying?
Yeah.
We like the
Assessments
new
in
digs.
other places.
Yeah.
It's really.
Yeah, compared to where, especially
Well,
where we were before.
You know, it was funny because we're like, you know, because Kelly lives across the street, and she's like, "Oh, that neighborhood is a little rough. That's Monastery.
Uh-huh.
It's a beautiful building."
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The owner, one of my students.
Oh, nice.
How's this?
Yep, Dave Birchfield.
It's half of all.
He owns, Birchfield Heating in there,
Yeah.
and it's him and his dad, Ty, that own this.
It's funny because my husband, at the time, okay, perfect. He lobbied and got their mailbox. This is a mail carrier, so he got them the mailboxes out front.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I didn't realize you.
Yeah.
I stopped with Xander because his whole seatbelt came on, and I stopped in Possum Auto Body, and two of my students walked out. And Swordboard. I said, "How are you doing?" I said, "You work in Possum, but I own it." And I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, we just bought it." And I said, "Oh my goodness."
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, we were super excited about Moss and ate a ton there when it first opened.
For the Chinese food.
It's very good, but
No.
we thought we'd treat ourselves one day and eat in there.
Because we were always carrying it over. I went in there once. I was like, same.
Rogan,
Yeah.
Rogan, friends told me across the floor.
No, that's what I heard. I heard
Oh, you're
the
kidding.
kitchen, I heard their kitchen got,
Chinese food, and they took me inside, and I was like,
did
oh,
it?
heck no.
Didn't their
I
kitchen
went,
get shut down because of the rodents?
I'll take your word for it.
We're never eating there again.
It is very good. Just don't go inside.
I have never had.
The secret sauce.
Keep your eyes closed.
Because it might have rodents in it.
I would die.
You saw?
Yeah, I live.
A rat.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you stop eating?
Everybody walked out and looked at me on the table. It was.
So their food did get shut down.
That there weren't enough food left. It's all beef.
Oh.
Yeah, they restricted that from electric.
Terrible. Are they coming from the back yonder?
To be honest with you.
Really, I
Wait,
think
they have that, the creek.
Some people have.
They're probably, those water
Nutria.
roof rats
No,
and
it's-
nutria.
Albany has a big rat problem.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
we
Oh,
do.
they're all over the place.
Yeah, they're-
And backyard chickens don't help.
We don't want to talk about that.
Or gardening.
Westerly, Liberty,
West
Council.
is a little.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
How long
Because
did
there
you
was,
have?
we noticed the last one rained, we noticed the leak. And Mickey wanted to go, and she opened the panel and just, and we're like, oh. No, she never
Mm.
see that, right?
Good there.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah,
don't, yeah.
it goes 35.
Hello, the rat problem is from the rat. From this lady that lives close by.
Oh, God.
She's a registered
But yeah,
nurse.
if you.
And she just let her regular rats intertwine with the rats from outside. And yeah, she got addicted and it was bad.
Yeah.
So they've all scattered.
You know they're there. It was like a highway.
Yeah.
It was like a perfect highway from the outside inside.
So in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and we had it, yeah, yeah.
It's kind of funny because we've never had them.
We would catch them in our garage.
But you were closer to the.
We were
green
close
space.
to the green space,
Yeah.
and you'd see them run across the top of the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have copies?
No.
Yeah, Albany.
Does he work at the counter or is he?
No, my brother does.
You-
Thank you. Let me know.
So my
Go
brother.
from down there and come back this way.
Really?
If you
That's
worked
my
it.
brother Evan. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That's my baby brother.
I did not know that.
Jamie, get one.
And he's.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when we moved up from California.
I think we're gonna be.
My parents call it
fine.
a
Yeah,
son.
thank you.
And then my brother too, so everyone moved up too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So we're all here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you for putting the time on it.
Yeah, we discussed about it.
Okay.
I mean, one thing you'll notice on this is that I screwed up all the red. So the only thing that is red is the newest changes, but this is just our,
I like that because the red is so hard on my eyes.
Yeah.
I don't-
Appreciate that.
don't get used to it, is what I'm saying.
Ah.
There.
Peter's just, all right.
You just- I was so excited.
Don't get too
It was gonna be your
excited.
new best friend.
What is in red is though, that is our latest changes based on your language and focus. And I can help.
So, yeah, so the change that we made was the alternating times. I think we took a date out, that's why we ended up with 2 back-to-back here. And then, we left those dates to be, in bold, the ones that were, confirmed. And then on page 2, sorry, the top of page 2, and then the other 2 dates still to be determined. But bolded the ones that I think bolded the end one that we confirmed.
Did you say
So-
you took-
Just clarification. I think when we received those, we talked today, we had through the 16th. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Confirmed?
Yes.
And this looks like it's the
Okay.
30th and we just can't say that. We'll work
Yeah.
for that. We will look at that.
Yeah, it looks like we maybe bolded the wrong date there. The 16th was the
Yeah, the
bolded
30th,
date.
the 30th,
Okay.
we have.
We don't know. So that's a question mark on that date.
Okay.
Okay, then we had agreed to the video recording and to provide public access via a link 24 hours after each session. That being said, that if something were to come up within that session, it would, if we needed to, talk to a member or warn that maybe something had been discussed, it would give us the option to do so before the video was out.
Say that again.
So if during our session,
Mhm.
if something comes up where we're discussing maybe a particular situation that would involve a particular member or something, the 24 hours would allow us to contact
Oh, I
the
see.
member, let them know, and then have it available for everyone. Yeah.
So a question, must have been in yours beforehand. So if we are going to be able to provide public access in the language in red, right? The privately accessible for all classified employees, how is that distinguished from just being available to everyone?
I think that was referring more to anything that we record that we would allow them to view at any time.
So that would be like if you guys undertook a recording that it would be yours.
It says either, Carly.
Okay. It seems like it's kind of redundant. What's written there doesn't restrict the prior, and yet to see it or to have a copy to work with, because we also say down below, recordings or excerpts We can't do that. So, okay.
I don't really understand it.
I don't think we.
That's how we built this entire
Change that.
contract over 30 years. with a
Yeah,
little bit of-
right, yeah. Yes, exactly.
I mean, I honestly, I think
Yeah.
you're right, as we're done this. It's something we're wedded to, like, we don't.
Okay.
And
Uh,
we could-
I'm talking to the previous.
Yeah.
Sentence, right?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yes,
Thank you.
Captures what we want.
Mhm. Okay. And again, then section 3, again, struck out the first hour. It just seems to not make a whole lot of sense. We might need that to do that. It did add in that we'll endeavor to keep our breaks under 45 minutes just for expediency. Understanding that if something were to happen, we will communicate if it needs to be longer than that. So again, to make our best efforts to present all major, now we're on page 3, down section 3, to present all major initial economic proposals by April 2nd. And then review the list of initial proposals, and we plan to be there before April 30th. Again, wanting to make sure that our time is wise and we're not forced to just put stuff on the table that's not going to make sense just to have them there. We want to make sure we honor everyone's time with that.
So all remaining initial proposals must be presented by April 30th. And you're saying that on the 2nd, any economic impact article would be shared.
Well, and every effort to do so. We also know that as the financial information comes later, close
Yeah.
to that date, we have to, get as much information as we can and make sure we have the right things in place, the right information.
Okay. So I worry a little about the pacing and the number of meetings, right? Because it sounds like you guys are going to be like a college kid writing term papers over spring break. I don't want you to have to do that, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, we may want to talk a little bit more about what the remaining. So you're saying that on the 2nd, you would have a list of the articles that you would continue?
Well, we're hoping to have a lot of them already done and ready to propose. That's our intention. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we're not wasting time putting together a really good effort. We don't want to just slap things on the table because we need to make April 2nd.
So one of the things that we can consider, right, so that we could get this all done earlier, if there are reorgs in articles or even across articles, because both union presidents in my time here, we've both said, yeah, there could be something in another article,
Right?
we just don't know. So if there was work that we wanted to do to organize it better and just not change meaning, but just change so it's all in one article that relates or something like that. We almost wouldn't even consider that a article to bargain, that we could just simply reorganize at any time, even as we build the final copy. Does that make sense?
It is.
It makes sense. Yeah, and it's also, it can be tricky, right? Because some of those things could have financial implications. It could.
Yeah. Well, but if they're already
significant
there,
interpretive kind of change. So
if they have financial implications, then we would hope that we have it by the set, right? But if we have just reorganized, there's many of those that could just be reorganized under numerical and then letter headings.
Yeah.
Right. So that I don't
that
think
should
would
be
change.
easy. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Little AI. So, okay. I did want to say, just so you're not caught off guard, but I think this is fairly standard. We have done analysis of insurance comparatives. We have done analysis of pay. We have done analysis of, total compensation, many of those things. We will begin to post them next week so that they are accessible to everyone. And we use comparative districts. I know you're familiar with this stuff. And so you know, they're usually verifiable.
Mhm.
And if someone, like, if you guys see those and you say, okay, you know, I'm not so sure about this district or whatever, most contracts are online and you could go verify that. But if not, but anything that you see that may not be accurate. And we did 26, 27 or 25, 26 current contracts. With one was a Tiger classified that did not settle
Mhm.
or was working towards that. Right. And so those will be posted
Mhm.
and available for all members. So you guys can see kind of where things stand. And then we'll, you know, continue to flesh that out as we develop more.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So can we, or is that,
And then the last thing is the 60 days we, added on the
Oh, got it.
ratification and getting it all together and presented. We go ahead,
Okay.
went ahead and changed that to 60 days that you proposed.
okay. So we'll go back and review that, but we want to just present first. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Because I think we have, or well, we've had two people who went to the musical at Liberty, but
I
I
know.
think we have people that can talk us through that. So, you want to start?
This one's Article 1, and actually. Did we have-
No.
We're on.
I know.
We should go.
We're working on our kinks.
This one. Everybody has one? All right. Article 1. The only change is on the back page 1.3. We added in this section, temporary positions, if filled by current permanent employees, must be 6 months or greater in duration. And we added this just simply because of the chaos that it can cause in buildings when we have temporary or permanent employees who take a temporary opening by choice. And if it's a very short one, it causes disruption to the children, to the culture, to everything, and then they come back and it just causes a domino effect. So what we're talking about is a permanent employee chooses to apply and gets a position, a temporary position that's open. By contract, their permanent position stays theirs. It's theirs to return to. So they go. So then their position has to be filled by another temporary position. And when it's all over, then the dominoes undo. And it can just be very disruptive. And sometimes they're for very short periods of time. That it be at least for a 6-month period to give some stability to the building and the students. That was the only change in one. Questions? Okay.
So why they caucus for?
We have
We have two more.
You want to do more? One at a time. because I know it's too far.
Oh, we're handing over one.
You can't look ahead.
Does everyone have 24? So on first page 24.6, we were just updating the mileage language. This month we took to the board our policy and just updated it so it referenced the IRS rates. We took out all the actual rates so you don't have to remember to update them.
And so we're just referencing in this language our travel policies, which refer you to the IRS. So no matter what, you are always being paid the current IRS rates. That is the intent of that change for 24.6.
And 24.8. Dollars
24.8.
and retain. Give it a change.
Oh, yes, the uniforms. So this language we received a question about, and so we just wanted to add clarity. And just an example of the uniforms the district purchases, we might purchase hard hats if our maintenance team need them, or protective wear, rain gear. And so the district provides the necessary uniforms for our staff, but we has been our practice, we retain the ownership of those. And so we were just trying to add clarity to the language. Thank you.
24.9, the tobacco use. We're proposing to remove the last paragraph in there that speaks to the district having a budget to help people overcome their tobacco use. It has not been used in any, no one can find any place, any time in which it's been used.
I know.
And it,
Yeah, sorry about that.
so it's just to remove that piece of
And
this.
I had actually mentioned that to Susie on it, and I was curious. I said, has anyone used that in any recorded time?
Not that I could find.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
And then 24.10 is the fingerprinting criminal records. This is just to update what the current policy is in HR. If you look at A, it says the work status of the newly hired classified employees will be referred to as conditional or contingent on the outcome of the criminal history verification. Employees will not be classified or referred to as temporary. At one point, they were called temporary until their fingerprinting came back, and we hire temporary employees sometimes, and so very confusing language. So we would like to remove that and just use the words conditional or contingent until the fingerprinting comes back to our office. And then the payment, we just are referring to the employee will be given 2 options instead of 3 for paying for the fingerprinting. And we're removing the payment of the fee at the time, and would like to leave in the other 2 options where they can pay the entire fee at one time or through 2 equal.
I have a question about that. So the very first statement in that is the district will pay for fingerprinting criminal record check for any person who after becoming an employee is required to have them. How, where does that, from what I understand, that was a change that was made. Was that, I don't know.
I think what it's trying to say is the district does pay it, but then it's withheld through payroll deductions from the employee's check.
So the district outlays, it doesn't pay for them.
Correct.
So that, okay.
I think that's our current practice.
Yeah, that's ours. Okay.
And then moving on to 24.11, again, this is just to update the language as to what is currently the process. The district we struck out will provide the proper forms. This is for rechecks of criminal history. There are no paper forms for rechecks, so it just reads the district will process the criminal history recheck every 5 years for all classified employees. We added. We took out the years back to 2005 because it's not needed. And then added in a criminal history check will be completed for all new employees according to district policy and contract language. And then We no longer needed the language about filling out the forms in January if they're hired. It's just happening in HR every 5 years.
Yeah, transportation part of the manual, we just wanted to add some clarity about, what the makeup of the committee will be. And I'm just reviewing the language on the crossouts, and I'm not sure that that's accurate, so I'll have to go back and check with that, our next class.
On the cross out, just under the
Yeah,
new
I'm not
language?
sure. Chris, do you have any? Oh, she's gone.
We struck it out because we thought the language said that.
Oh, down below.
Yeah,
That's correct. Okay, so yeah, we struck it out because the language down below we thought covered that language.
Yeah.
So and just clarifying the rules and then you named me or my designee as a facilitator of that. And we haven't met since I've been here. So, but I think we have some changes, so this process is good. Like to do that. Then down below, food service benefits, this is just kind of another cleanup. We don't identify any employees that were doing this. And based on the information I have, and then employees who pay for the license up front must provide receipt, just clarity of process about how to be reimbursed for the food handlers part as well. Just some clarity there.
Any questions?
I guess I just have a little bit of a question just of the, I guess, the location, the transportation department manual being under miscellaneous benefits seems like an odd place for it. So I don't know if there's a better place that
Okay.
that would go, but
Yeah.
I agree
that's
with
true.
yeah.
For sure.
And
And then we're at, we need a handout.
We don't have any questions.
Have a lot to say.
Next one, how many?
Is it just one page?
yes,
It is.
Oh, great.
short.
Short too.
So these two changes were made at the request of our payroll department. They're 35-2A is cleanup because after we changed our payroll date from the 30th to the 25th, this language caused problems. And so we're just clarifying that because we would, the old language, if an employee worked until the 30th, we paid them on the 25th, and then they didn't work, but they had resigned of the 30th, we'd have to go back and try to clean that up. So this language will clean that up for us. If they resign the 30th, the final paycheck will be the following pay period, which matches the payroll cutoff dates at the 10th, pay at the 25th. So it's just aligning our process. This language didn't get changed when we did the MOU for the pay didn't change. And then 35-3B, another cleanup. So the insurance for employees is 12 months, and some employees start August, some start September, and so we're cleaning up the language to make it really clear. It's 12 months of insurance, regardless of if your pay starts in July or August. And so it's referring to the 9, 10, and 11-month employees.
Yeah.
And I know that's kind of confusing, but we're trying to make it clean it up.
I have a clarifying question. I don't know. It's not actually even one of the changes, but just in the 35.4, this is something that's come up. I know in my building a couple times already this year. For the insurance to continue until the end of the month as described, the employee needs to have worked at least half the work days in that month. Does that include any like holidays or schedule, or is it?
So it would depend if it's a paid holiday.
Okay. So there's calculations to be done
Yes.
regardless. Okay.
And if an employee did work less than half,
Mhm.
and then the following month, they would stand to pay for insurance. I think
Just-
that's the way
but
it
just-
actually works. I don't think
Well, I think they've been losing their insurance mid-month,
mid-month.
right? Because if they were just shy of that half, then it terminates immediately. Is that how it works if they don't work half the day?
I would rather just clarify with Alisa who
Mhm.
processes that to make
Okay.
sure that our processes are
Yeah.
what I understand.
Okay.
So I can-
Sorry, I know
I
that's
can
not
read-
really the scope here, but I know that.
No, it's
something
good
that's come
question.
up.
Good.
Okay. Anyone have any questions on any three of those? No.
So Madam Chair, do you guys want to caucus and we can come back? We have lost a significant piece of our publishing
You
here.
have. Yes.
And so, but we're, if you guys wanted to talk about those, if you had any other questions, we can come back together. Happy to do that.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe we can start now and then we take a caucus, and then if we determine that we probably won't get something in writing by the end of the night, we can if we can determine
that's
that
fine.
soon, we'll let you know. So
Perfect. That sounds
we're
great.
not, okay.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
You bet.
discussion on Article 1. So the 1.3E, the temporary positions. How does that apply to a summer temp? Where in nature the position will not be 6 months.
This doesn't, this
We can
doesn't
mix with that.
pertain, yeah, to summer
Okay.
or work. Those are completely separate hires. This is their regular work year.
Okay. So we would need to have a clarification that it's temporary, summer, temporary. So, okay. I think for tonight, thank you for the articles. Thank you for the presentations. We will continue to work on our reply to those, but we didn't want to have you sit here all night while we're doing that and then run out of
Thank you
time.
very much.
So, yes.
And we will endeavor to be in contact with you guys to schedule, and we'll include Brian on that,
Okay.
so that we can lay a couple more out. We will kind of talk about, like, we're getting pretty close on that.
Yeah.
Right? And so we appreciate that.
Okay.
And we'll in all likelihood send you that sooner than later. The ground rules.
The ground
yeah,
rules
like,
with the dates on
yeah.
it. Okay.
Or maybe not the dates. We're going to work on the dates.
And the times.
Yeah, we'll be sending that to you.
Okay.
But really appreciate you guys. Appreciate the audience tonight. Thank you guys, and we'll keep at it.
Okay, I just had one last thing. The article we presented 32. Did you have a response to that yet, or is that something you're still working on?
The one you shared the first night.
Yes.
We do not have a
Agreement.
response. Brian wasn't. We
Okay.
took Brian up, and he is not. We haven't had a conversation. About
Okay.
that, but we will work on that as well.
Okay.
Can we finish ground rules? Is ground rules done?
We will send you back. I think we have really closed the gap towards completion, but I still need to take yours, work with the whole group, and then we'll send it back. But we're pretty close now. So, okay.
All right. Is there anything anyone else has before we adjourn for the night? Okay.
Good to see you, Peter.
Likewise.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good meeting, guys. Thank you.